and you're watching Acid Burn Saya, and welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about my December wrap-up. So these are the books that I read this December. Well, last December, December 2022, since it's now January 2023. Oh, we made it. We made it through December, and we're here. And these are the books that I read in December. First of all, to start off December, I read Babel. This started off my December very depressingly. It is huge. I listened to the audiobook, and that was one of the things that was recommended, to listen to it instead of read it. One of the things in this, there is an awful lot of translations and a lot of different languages being used. And so the reason that you're asked to use the audiobook is so that you get the right pronunciations of how the words are meant to be said themselves. Babel is very popular. If you want a proper review on Babel, there are many people who have done reviews on it. I will list some of my favourites down below. I will not be doing a review on Babel. This book left me so depressed after reading it. It did not do well for my mental health, this book. Let's just say, this book is about a boy from Canton, whose family all die, and he ends up as a ward of an English professor for Oxford. This is set in a fictional England, very based sort of on our own history, on the history of the world. And it is very, very depressing. He is an immigrant who trains for languages in Oxford in the Babel department. And in this world, languages have power on silver. If two words in two different languages are written on the silver bars, they have the meaning that gets lost in translation, but nothing is a perfect translation. The words have power. So for example, if you put speed in two different languages, well, words that can mean speed in two different languages, and put it in a carriage, it will make the carriage go quicker. It's set in the 1830s, and I didn't realize the significance at all. And when it hit me what the book was actually about, I burst out crying. This book left me emotionally in tatters. Emotionally, mentally in tatters. I'm sorry, I could talk about this book and the politics about this book for hours, and so it's probably best that I don't. But it was very emotional, and I was very emotionally drained and quite depressed after it, because I saw an awful lot of the problems in this book in our politics. If there's a sequel to this, I don't think I will be reading it. I think Babel was too much for me. I mean, it was brilliantly written, it was fantastically done, but it is not a book I think I was mentally prepared for. So that was a great way to start off December, the most cheerful months of the year. Because of my experience with Babel, I decided to read Christmas books, light Christmas books. And I'd wanted to do Christmas books anyway for December, because I never read Christmas books. I thought, why not? Let's do it. I started off the Christmas season, Parisan Christmas Bake Off by Jenny Oliver. I really enjoyed this book and would be very interested in carrying on with Jenny Oliver's books. This book felt a little bit like Love Actually meets Bridget Jones' Diaries. This is about a teacher, and she's from a small English village. This quaint little village in England round together and get her an apprenticeship with a French chef, a French baker. So she ends up having to compete against different English bakers. And the prize is she gets to be an apprentice for a couple of months to learn how to bake. And the character herself doesn't like Christmas. Her mother died around Christmas, and her mother used to bake, and her mother had a bakery. She ends up in Paris, and it's a lovely little story. I really enjoyed it and thoroughly enjoyed it. And after Babel, it was definitely light enough, and it took my mind off everything, and I was so happy with it. It was definitely the book that I needed at the time, and I was really impressed, and it was really sweet. However, one of the things that I found was that it did make me very hungry when I listened to it, because she's talking about baking all these treats and all these pastries. So it really made me hungry, and especially because it was set over Christmas and I was reading it in December, it made me hungry for Christmas cupcakes and Christmas themed food. Not mince pies though. Definitely not mince pies. So please don't read this book while you're hungry, because it will make you hungry and will make you go for the sweet treats. There was a little bit of romance in this, but it wasn't the main bit, which I quite like. I like is romance, but it's not the whole big thing. So I really enjoyed it. I didn't want to give it 4 stars, but I think I will give it a 3. I think I gave it a 3 because it was enjoyable, but it wasn't a 4-star read. However, it was like 3.85 or something, but it was good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I did enjoy it, and it's a nice wee Christmas read, so I will definitely be checking out more of Jenny Oliver's books. The third book that I read this December was Christmas by the Coast by Mandy Baggot. This is about a real estate developer in England who gets a phone call that her grandmother has died. She packs up all her stuff and goes to her grandfather to look after him. The grandparents are American, so the character goes off to the Hamptons and they have a tiki bar. And so she goes off to look after her grandfather, who she would have spent summers with and never got to spend Christmas. She would have gone over in the summer to spend time with her grandparents, and she had a really close relationship with her grandparents. This book has great disabled representation. In it, we have a war veteran who is an amputee. He is a disabled character, and I liked reading how he coped and everything. However, I really didn't like this book. I found it dragged very much so, and I wasn't a big fan of the writing itself. I gave this a 2-star. I really wasn't fussed on it. And it's weird to be in the Hamptons at Christmas, and she really connects to her grandmother and does all the different activities that she never got to experience at Christmas. A nice enough story, but I really didn't connect to it. I really find it just a bit disappointing for my Christmas read. However, it did remind me of Snow on the Beach by Taylor Swift. My 4th book that I read this Christmas in December 2022, A Christmas Basket by Debbie McCone. I rated this a 4-star. I actually really enjoyed this, and it was a wee short one, and it was really cute and really sweet. This is about 2 mothers who fell out 20 odd years ago, and Noelle, who is one of the mother's daughters, comes back because her sister has gotten engaged. Over the years, Noelle has not come back after moving away because she is afraid to see her ex, who happened to be the son of the enemy family. And they dated when they were in high school and were going to run away together, and something happened. He broke her heart. She has never forgiven him and has never really repaired from this relationship. She comes back home, and then of course sees him. He comes home for the holidays too, and they bump into each other everywhere. It's a really cute story. It's really nice, and I really enjoyed Debbie McComb's writing. And I know she writes an awful lot of Christmas books, and so I definitely will be checking her out again. I was very impressed. I liked Friends, Lovers and Second Chance Romance and Forgiveness, and it wasn't too complicated, considering actually it turned out it was written in like 2001. It's pretty old and it didn't feel that dated. The 5th book that I read was Cupcakes for Christmas by Hewitt. I felt like every other book that I read this month I was disappointed with. It could be this one hit a bit too much home for me. This book is about a 40-year-old woman who has taken over her mother's bakery. It is so depressing. She is single. Her mother's business is failing. Her mother was very bad with money, so the business is failing. Everything's going to pot. And she's trying to make money, trying to make the business viable. She is single, and all her friends are married or progressing in their lives, and she's just single. So I can relate to that far too much. This book made me feel very, very sad. Yeah, it was not an uplifting book at all. She decides to do 12 days of cupcakes coming up to Christmas. A different cupcake every day, and that was her big big business thing and it seemed to be working. And she ended up meeting this guy and he's average. This book was not uplifting at all. It is the first of a book series which I will not be carrying on with at all. It ended like really abruptly. Just sort of like, yeah, let's just finish the story. And the next book is about a different character in her friend circle or a different character in the town. The Christmas Escape by Sarah Morgan is about 3 different women, well technically 4. It's about 2 best friends. They go to Lapland together for a Christmas holiday for over Christmas to go meet her aunt, Robin. Alex, who is her best friend, she is anti-relationships and can't really connect. She comes from a broken family where the parents didn't really want her and just gave her money and don't really communicate with her. So she grew up with Christy and she ended up spending Christmas and other times with Christy, and that when they were children, that's how they became best friends. Christy and Seb are having relationships issues, so they send Alex off to Lapland a few days later. So she takes the child off, Christy and Seb's child, off to Lapland, and lo and behold, she ends up with Zach, who is Seb's best friend. They end up looking after, because Alex hasn't looked after children, doesn't have any of her own. So they end up in Lapland with Aunt Robin, and Aunt Robin gets to meet her great niece, and you find out more about why Christy has never seen Aunt Robin or heard about her. I enjoyed it well enough. It was all right. It was all right for a Christmas book. It was set in Lapland and it was cold and everything, so yeah. The last book that I read in December was The Starless Sea by Erin Morganstern. I still don't know what to think of this book. I had no clue most of the time what this book was about, and whenever I thought I knew what was going on, no, we were back to square one. I had no clue at all what was going on, but it is what it is, right? The Starless Sea is stories within story. It's I don't even know how to describe this. It's like stories within stories, and there's false stories. I think it's false stories. Who knows? Time travel in it, and I don't want to spoil anything. Like past lives, and I guess past lives. Oh well. There were bits of it that I liked. The writing is gorgeous. It's beautifully written. I love the cover. I haven't read The Night Circus. My aunt was saying how she really enjoyed The Night Circus and couldn't get into The Starless Sea. I think that was my problem with Starless Sea. When I got into it, all of a sudden it changed. I had no clue what was going on back on again. So I find it a little bit hard work. And I still am a little bit confused. I will definitely, I think, have to reread it. Yeah, I need to read an explanation for this. So please, if anyone has any recommendations on videos that can explain The Starless Sea to me, please put it in the comments box so I know what's going on. But yes, so that is what I read in December. I literally finished The Starless Sea on the 31st of December. I wanted to get it finished in December and finish it off. I'm glad I did. Everyone is different, and I apologize if you really love I know there's a lot of people who love The Starless Sea. I didn't get it. Hopefully I will do a reread, and hopefully I will get it and understand. It's probably just my imagination and who I am as a person. I haven't got it, and hopefully maybe with a reread in a few years I will get it and be happier with it. So I will be keeping the book because I hope to go back to it. If you like this video, please like, and if you like my content and everything, please subscribe. I know I have different opinions, but different opinions are fine. You know, everyone's different. We're not all the same. And please enjoy your day, and thank you so much for watching, and stay warm and stay safe. Bye. It was really nice to read some Christmas books this year, and hopefully I'll do some more Christmas books next year.